Welcome to Celeritas. My name's Webbo, and I'm here with Branch.
Hello.
Hey, Branch, good to have you back. Sorry you missed last night. It's a
Yep.
shame we couldn't commentate on your race last night, but we're here tonight. It's Division 1 evening on Saturday night, and it's becoming a regular thing now, Branch, your co-commentary on a Saturday.
Yeah, I enjoy commentating. You tend to seem to want to invite me to it, so I keep coming back.
Definitely.
But yeah, I'm excited. This is one of my favorite tracks in the game. I have a lot of practice on this track, and I'm excited to commentate on it.
Yeah, so had you put in a lot of practice this week, or were you too busy?
Not as much as I would normally for a track. I was pretty busy, definitely, but I did get some practice in.
Right.
I think at my best, I was doing 138.2s, which is about a second and a half off of Dowdec, so I don't know how fast it really is, but yeah, there's a lot to go on with this track. We'll get
There
into
is.
it obviously once we see the cars going around, but it'll be interesting to see how the Div 1 drivers are able to maneuver themselves around this
Yeah,
very tight.
and we hope for a few more finishes than we've managed the last few races. And there's also a lot of new faces and new drivers around, so it's definitely going to make for a very interesting night tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. This uh this track provides a very unique perspective on F1. Not only is it a street circuit, which in itself is a task without even thinking about what track it is, just saying it's a street circuit makes it more difficult. But then it also has one of the longest streets in Formula One, which
Yeah,
uh, requires the teams to have much less downforce than they would want to, which sucks because there are a lot of turns in this track that require downforce and require attention. So not having that downforce is what makes this track so unique and so difficult.
yeah, we definitely saw cars sort of dancing around on the limits of grip in the Division 2 race last night. It was really interesting to watch how people balance that setup, and you could see several times where people had put a little bit more downforce on and were losing out on the straights in the race, or not able to make an overtake even with DRS. If someone's running very low wing, it's very easy to defend a position or overtake someone with a little bit, just that little bit more downforce. So plenty of incidents last night. We just had the one full safety car, but we had a few more VSCs and some impacts with the barrier and those kind of things. So yeah, lots of drama. Looks like Senna's the first one to come out on track. The pit exit here is very difficult.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
I love this track, but that pit exit is just terrible.
So tonight we've got about 12 or 13 regular Division 1 drivers, but from our large bank of reserve drivers and some of our brand new drivers to have arrived at the league, we've been able to fill the grid, and I think the grid was filled pretty quickly. Lots of people wanting to test their mettle against the very best in Division 1. Speaking of the top runners, obviously everybody has seen how Prime drives and how he dominates a race when he's of a mind to, when it's prime time, I should say. But also Thod's here, and he's got some pace and had a tremendous win last week.
Yeah, it's Prime for the most part this season has been dominating, but Thod has started to come back at him a little bit, showing a lot of really strong pace in the last two races specifically. Looked like he was faster. He looked like he was faster than Prime in both, so it'll be really exciting to see if he's able to carry that over to today, or if there's someone else like Tom HC who's with him today who will be able to take the top spot.
Yeah, so Tom, we've got two Toms tonight. I'm going to go with Tom and Tom John. I think on commentary, but Tom races in our Formula C category and had a lot of pace. So as I mentioned, I'm currently watching with Senna, and we'll see how he gets on this first lap, avoiding the apex a little bit there into turn 2.
Yeah, that apex of turn 2 can cause a little bit of problems. There's the same problem with turn 3 where these curves just bounce your car a little bit,
Yep.
take your tires off the ground, and it creates for a little bit more difficult handling. So
yeah, it's exactly what Storm was saying last night when he was in your seat. Was you can't be too aggressive on these inside curves.
yeah, there's so many curves in this track that will absolutely destroy your lap if you touch them.
Yeah.
And luckily, it's not the one that Senna's coming up to right now in this castle section. He slowed down a lot for that. Looking very timid through that section. Possibly you might not have a lot of practice here. You can really kind of throw the car through that castle section, but you have to have a lot of confidence with it. Because if you don't, you'll end up like Leclerc. And
yeah, I am stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, I am stupid. So.
Everyone's joining us on the YouTube chat. Welcome to Career Fan, Bacon, Lightning, Oosterveer, all the usual suspects. We haven't got any of the Barmy Armies or huge fan clubs joining us just yet, but hopefully they'll be tuning in shortly. Senna is about to cross the line.
That's a solid banker lap. I think he lost a lot of that time through the castle section because he really took a lot of time out. There goes Tom right behind him with a 138.2.
Yeah, so Tom putting in a good early time. Jamie raced last night, and he goes second on track.
And just notice Jamie finished side by side with Lankovas there.
Absolutely. So one of them got a good toe at the end there. Velo has come in and put in a second place time at the start. So good driving from him. And Thod goes on pole. Yeah, dips under the 37s. Only just, but enough to take provisional pole on the first run through. So
about to pass the line. He goes third fastest.
Excellent. So yeah, some challenge at the front. For Prime and Thod, some people to join the fray. It should be really interesting. Quinnith sets a really good time there, P5 for him right now. Let's have a look further down the grid. Bacon also raced last night. He's back again tonight, so that will give them a little bit of an advantage of learning their setups, how they fared through the strategy through yesterday. Let's have a look with Dowdek as well, because Dowdek usually has a really strong pace in qualifying, and especially on those time trials.
Yeah, he is the person I look for setups. I almost always download his setup whenever I'm getting ready for a race, and it tends to fare well for me. So
yeah,
we'll see what kind of pace he has here at Azerbaijan.
Bacon says that we're going to get rain at the end. Now, I don't know if that means rain at the end of qualifying. It is a little bit more overcast than we've seen, or maybe he means rain at the end of the race, which will really mix things up around here. So Dowdek through the castle section. Was that a bit more like you were talking about, throwing it in there?
Yeah, you can really that wall, that curve right there is a little bit deceiving because you can cut it almost entirely. In fact, you can just go about millimeters from that yellow wall. Dowdek cuts that curve. That's a really interesting line there. You generally see people avoid that curve, but he hopped right over it.
But he had to hesitate to put the power down.
Yeah, he did. That is the problem with those curves. You have to wait, and it might have cost him a little bit of time. But yeah, that castle section. If you throw it in there, you can gain a lot of time, but it's also extremely dangerous, as it is only 7.7 meters across, I believe. The smallest amount of space between wall to wall. There we go.
Cut across you there, but Dowdek gets his second place. So 38.1. There's a bit of a gap there for a driver to get onto the front row, but I do think that the second laps from our drivers will be more competitive. We've certainly seen some of the drivers leave a gap to make sure they got a banker time in.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers probably trying to get a lap in, evolve the track a little bit, but this track is difficult because it's such a long lap that there's less qualifying opportunities essentially.
Yeah.
You know, for a track like Monza, which we were racing in not too long ago, that you can get maybe 4 or 5 qualifying laps in. I would expect no more than 3 from the drivers here today.
Yeah. Absolutely, there's less chances. Just watching Snarf and typically for Snarf, slightly stuttery internet connection, but he's really wagging the tail on the way out of the corners. His car's very, very loose through the middle of the track.
I'm wondering if that's an intentional setup thing. I do know a few people who like this track specifically. They like their car a little bit loose so they can use the throttle to turn their car to some of the more difficult corners, as there are a fair amount of 90-degree corners in this track, which are more of a task than you would probably think they are.
Absolutely. Well, Snarf's about to close this lap out, and we'll see where that compares. It looks like Thod's back out again, so we'll maybe do a track run with Thod shortly. But we'll just watch Snarf come in and P7, so big jump up the grid for him. And David, Dragon, Lightning and OneBlood, the drivers yet to make their first banker laps count.
I'm noticing there is a more than 1 second gap between 6th and, or I guess 7th and 8th place now, as Lightning puts himself in the 7th place. Huge gap right there. Pretty odd to see it that far down the grid.
Well, let's join Thod then, Branch, and you can take us through a lap guide on board with Thod.
Alright, well the lap, even though the start-finish line is a little bit farther ahead, the lap starts right here. You have to get a really good exit out of that, out of those flat-out corners, or else you will lose a lot of time going down this straight. But very wide over here to dive it into this 90-degree left-hander. Down a little bit of a straight here to another 90-degree left-hander. And this is another turn you need a really good exit on, because this is another very long straight to leading to yet another 90-degree left-hander. As he dives in there, gotta avoid the curve here. He does pretty well. It's a good exit. Short straight before a tight right-hander, leading to one of the more difficult sections of this track. Left-right chicane that this curve right here is so dangerous. He takes it a little bit, had to slow down. You can't touch that curve at all. It is a deadly curve for lap times. He cut that one though. It's pretty flat, and then here comes the castle section. Oh, he taps the wall, a little wide.
Yeah, this car looking loose. He was fairly equal with his previous time, but yeah, that really cost him.
Yeah, I saw oh wow, there goes Tom with a 137.4, and thought he's going to be on the back foot now as he...
That's crazy from Tom. That's a crazy time.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, in time trial, at least I've seen some 136s. I don't think we'll see one in qualifying today just because of how little amount of laps they're going to be able to run, but we could see them getting pretty close.
Yeah.
Thod is going to be on the back foot a little bit now.
I've just seen Prime just rub the walls coming out of the castle section. I don't think Prime is going to improve here. He was 1/10 over through sector 2, and yeah, just rubbed the wall on the way out of a corner. So unless this is stellar, I don't think Prime is going to get up onto the front row.
Let's see where this lap. It looks like he might be that. Yeah, he's gonna go into the pits. Not even gonna try and finish this lap out.
No good. Oh, and Dawadek hits a Racing Point who was idling around on the apex. I can't see if that was Quinn or Lankovas, but Dawadek was diving through at full racing speed and found someone hesitating on an apex of a corner. So that's ruined Dawadek's next attempt here.
That was Sir Quinneth.
Right.
He spun around. That's going to create a bit of problem for Dawadek as well. So
yeah,
a lot of the top guys having trouble here on their second runs.
Pricey doing well on his first sector here. He's under his time. So a small improvement for Pricey would mean a couple of places, almost certainly in the Ferrari. I know that's of interest particularly to you, Branch, as a full-time Ferrari driver. No, Pricey hits the wall as well through the castle. Grabbed too much on the inside that you know, the corner you said you could almost forget about.
Yeah, that was. You don't generally see people hit the wall like that.
No, no.
You know, what you kind of want to do with that is you dive it in real close to that yellow wall at the beginning, and then you let it drift out a little bit before coming back to the left.
Right.
To hit that uphill right-hander. But he kept it a little bit too far to the left as there's pieces of car flying.
It's one of our noobs on the server who I'm sure is absolutely not a noob when it comes to racing leagues in F1 2020 is Velo. Just joining us. He's on a sort of installation or warm-up lap, cuts across the track, and yeah, he's just invalidated. So Pricey, Dawidek, both coming back to the pits. He just put himself in the wall in the castle section, Charles Leclerc style. We did see this yesterday as well. Yeah, we saw this yesterday with drivers. That castle section catching people out in qualifying and in the race yesterday. So no different in Division 1. It's a really, really nasty section. Just to mention, on the YouTube chat, we see Shenda return to watching Celeritas. He was one of our early front runners in Division 1, but had to leave the league for a clash of schedule. So great to see Shenda back. I hope he can see these guys at the front of the grid and be inspired to rejoin us as soon as possible.
Jamie's also out of the session. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I'm not sure there's too many people that are sad about that one, but nonetheless out of the session.
So yeah, Jamie sets a P13 time here, and is out. So no improvement for him. He will only go backwards from there, I'm sure, relative to everybody else. I'm just watching Lightning, who I would expect to be a little bit further up the grid. Currently, it looks like Velo's decided that's as fast as he's going to go. He's quit out of this session.
He put himself in the wall.
Ah, okay. So terminal damage for him. Yeah.
He's having a really good. That was a great castle section, I must say. Just about as tidy as you can possibly be through there. Flat out, almost. It's a straight. There's turns there, but you don't lift for him. You don't brake for him. So it's basically a straight.
Yeah.
As he comes into the final corner, kind of. There's also once again corners here that you don't lift for. So a feature of this circuit. They are difficult though. You can't just forget about them.
No, there's definitely one line through there, isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, this isn't going to be anything special for Lightning. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't think Lightning's improving there at all. So let's see if we've got Thod back out. He's under his time through Sector 3.
Oh, he just missed 200ths away from Tom's time.
So it's really, really tight at the front there. Thod doing his level best, but I don't think he's going to get back around again in time to...
I think he's actually doing another lap right now. Oh no, okay. Never mind. He backed off.
No, so he's the back of his car's flashing red. I don't think he's going to get anywhere. So who's got anything to answer? Dawidek will be able to finish this lap. Prime is on an out lap and will presumably cross the line in time. We'll follow along with Dawidek though. He'll be hoping there's no one waiting on the apex of a blind corner this time round.
That would definitely not be ideal for Dawidek again.
Yeah.
We lost up big time there, but kept the car slowed down anyways.
Yeah, catches a brake on the inside, but didn't seem to affect his line. And again, I guess this is down to his setup.
Wow, yeah, you're really close to that wall. That's. If you want a fast line, you have to do that. That's just the confidence of knowing this track well, being able to get that close to that wall. It's almost unbelievable to see they can get that close. Oh, but never mind. I lied. Sorry.
No, that looked for all the world like he was going to go straight into the barrier, didn't it? But he got it. He got the car turned round. Amazing stuff from Dawidek. He's right on the limit here, taking every inch that he possibly can.
Crossing the DRS line right now. It's fairly deep into this streak because of how long it is. See where he ends up. Oh, he just missed by 500ths of pole.
But a really, really big improvement at the end there from Dawidek. Yeah. Look at the times at the top. I can't wait to see what Prime's got. It's Prime time in qualifying. Again, grabbed a lot of turn 13, and I'm not sure that was optimal. But he's half a second under his time. Pricey goes in and just beats Prime to P4 off screen, but we'll stick with Prime and see what he's got at the end of this lap. This could see another 137. I fancy this stage of qualifying. The sky's dark.
Oh, it goes into P4.
He does get into the 37s, but it's not enough because the times from Tom, Thod and Dawidek are all within the same 10th of a second. Tremendous.
David is on. He's finishing up his lap now. He was 5/10 down through sector 2. So let's see if he has a strong improvement here. Could be a 137, not quite. But he puts himself into P6.
So P6 for the Williams with David. So fantastic stuff.
And I believe
that everybody.
That is it.
That is all she wrote.
Out of the session. So that is
it. So yeah, Tom from Thod and Dawidek. I'm almost in shock at the field time spread there from the first to the third. That's quite something. And Prime is left wondering where 0.4 of a second left on the track.
Yeah, it's obviously he is very strong. He is very strong in races, so we can't discount the fact that maybe he just has a race setup, or maybe even we're expecting rain and he put on a wet setup compared to the others. I'm not sure.
Absolutely.
But, yeah. All right. Should I take us through the
grid? Go ahead.
All right. So on pole, Tom HC, the reserve driver. Following him, Thod 200ths behind, Dawidek 500ths behind in third place. Prime, the lowest qualifying spot I think he has all season, in fourth, followed by Pricey in fifth, David in sixth, Velo in 7th, Lightning in 8th, Death Dragon in 9th, and rounding at the top 10 in the Mercedes is Snarf. After that is Quineth, Lankovas, Jamie, Senna, Zonic, Tom John, Bacon, and OneBlood, who did not set a time.
It's also really interesting to look at the team's difference between the performance of the McLarens tonight and last night. So the McLarens absolutely stole the show yesterday, and they're right at the bottom of the grid tonight. No continuation of good fortune. I wonder if that was the rain that we were expecting at the end, because it did get very dark.
I believe it was.
Yeah,
I believe it was. It's looking pretty dry out here right now, although it's kind of what it looked like at the beginning of the last session. So maybe we will see some
Absolutely,
rain,
yeah. I think that's exactly right. Who knows? We'll see if anyone wants to fill us in on the weather forecast. If not, we'll be playing a guessing game like everybody else. So Bacon says rain for the end of the race.
Okay.
To me. So.
Well, I'm wondering how end he means, because the last few laps, if it's the last lap, then it's probably not going to be a problem. But if we start seeing rain with 10, 12 laps to go, then that could really change the outcome of the race.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I saw the whole of the top 10 on soft tyres. But of course, we'll check in with tyre choice now and see what everybody has chosen. No, Lankovas did qualify 10th on mediums, and several of the at the foot of the field, several of those guys are on hards.
think Lankovas actually qualified 12th, but because of some grid penalties that were received during qualifying, he moved up to 10th. And was able to keep his medium tires.
Yeah. Really interesting. So Adriano has joined us late in the AlphaTauri. Dawidek's teammate Adriano was late to the session, but will get to start the race. It's good news for him. One of our Italians has managed to make the grid. So we'll have a grid of 19 tonight. His Bacon in the Ferrari at the end of the field, and Gwyneth after that pretty disastrous qualifying session will start P16.
Yep.
We've got newcomer Tom John in the Alfa Romeo. There's plenty of time to give the cars a little bit of camera time as they tour the Azerbaijan circuit. It's a long old track. It did seem to feel like a longer race last night than we usually see. We have Dragon here in the Williams, and then Senna in the highest qualifying McLaren in 12th. Jamie is racing for Red Bull tonight, so a change of car and interesting experience for Storm, who will be cheering on Jamie because he's driving his car tonight, I think.
The field is really bunched up right now, as we just saw some disqualifications there. David and Lightning as well.
Right.
Well as one with Blood and Adriano in the back. So yeah, this will be really interesting. I'm expecting some soft to hard one stops, but I don't know what the kind of strategy is going to be for those guys that are on the mediums.
Yeah, so mediums last night we saw get to about lap 11-12 before it was really time to change them, and that was a real crossover point. We did see, I think Bacon did a 2-stop last night, but the majority of people went on the hards at some stage in the race to eliminate the pit stop time. So it'll be interesting if the track conditions tonight are similar, or the Division 1 drivers' level of tyre preservation is similar. But yeah,
I mean, the good thing about this pit straight, at least, is that it's fairly quick compared to some others. So you don't lose a lot of time if you're doing a 2-stop, but you still do lose time.
Definitely.
So it will be interesting to see what those guys are able to do.
So Ustavir in the chat saying medium soft as a potential option, but it looks like we're ready to get going. So here come the lights. Tom from Thod, from Dawidek. It's lights out and go, go, go at Celeritas in Azerbaijan. Tom gets away well. Dawidek challenging with Prime. I think Dawidek will probably get the better out of that situation. So side by side.
Pricey may have taken a bit of wall there. I don't know if he got any damage from it.
Okay.
But
there's a little bit of ghosting going on through that turn 1, turn 2 complex. Prime comes back at Dawidek here. Will try and get the inside, gets the position, but Dawidek was left to hang out, and I think probably made contact with the wall there as Prime gets the elbows out. Dawidek now defending from Velo.
We just saw a big wreck at the back there. I don't know who was involved with it. It looked like it might have been Tom John, maybe.
Tom John is disappearing, and so is Senna down the order. Yeah. Soft runners have absolutely. You look at the tyre choice on the grid. The soft runners have absolutely got the best out of the first half a lap. Amazing. But yeah, so currently it's Tom from Thod and Prime and Velo. Dawidek dropping down a little bit. Pricey getting through this first lap, staying in 6th, and he's got Jamie right behind him. Velo smacks the wall very hard through there on the way out of the castle section, and I'm assuming will have significant damage. Yeah, he's going to need to tour around, get some hard tyres on, and hope to get the car to the end now. But he's going to hold up the grid.
This track is not kind to those who lose downforce like that. He is probably going to have to pit, although it looks like he may be staying out, and he will.
Interesting tactic. Maybe hoping for a safety car, because it's the early stage of the race. We may well see safety cars. There's a lot of movement in the grid at the moment. Branch, Tom, Thod. Oh, it's just this glitch. Tom from Thod is very close. Thod getting aggressive, getting close for the lead here, and very anxious to get away from the oncoming Prime before Prime starts forcing him to defend, I think.
Yeah, Prime fell back a bit there at the beginning, but he's starting to come back at him now. So he's going to want to get past Tom, put a car in between himself and Prime.
Yeah.
Before Prime's able to catch up to him.
Absolutely, but we've been really excited about the prospect of seeing Tom on track with our Division 1 drivers, and it's really close for the front here. Great first section of the race for Renault as well, second and fourth.
Willow had a really good start, up 3 positions, one of the better starters of this race. Adriano, the biggest mover of all of them, going up 5 positions from 19th to 14th. We also saw Jamie move up to 7th. So great start for him.
Yeah. Velo driving around with that damage and seeming to be able to make some lap times out of it. So I was certain he was going to be coming in, but he's making the best out of it.
It looks like Dawid may have a bit of a run on him here.
And Tom has also got is going to be forced to defend. Thod shows himself in the mirrors, but no look down there. As you're right, yeah, Dawid closing in on Velo. So it's close stuff here. Prime is very much on his own at the moment, and we'll see what happens. I'm just going to keep flicking between these Renaults because they're in the thick of the action.
Thod had DRS there, but he was saving his ERS down the straight. Oh, he's right on the back of Tom now.
Yeah, almost ran into him, didn't he?
Yeah.
So Tom under pressure, Thod losing out on his optimal line there, and Prime is getting closer and closer as we get through. Prime will now get DRS.
Off the track.
Really? So a rough start from Lightning.
Oh, and they just let Adriano collide with One Blood, hitting the wall, and he collided with him. There's a lot going on in the back. These cars essentially just pile on top of each other.
I'll stay with the lead, but it's great to have you fill us in on what's going on. Somehow David Quinn and One Blood are managing to type while racing in the Discord, which is something else. Jamie's disappeared down the grid as well. I wonder if something happened with him. Here comes Thod. Thod is very close already, and they haven't even got onto the back straight. Now they do. Thod's got DRS.
Yeah,
he's level already, and he breezes past. I think that Tom will be able to tuck under the gearbox. Was that one of the Renaults heading to the pits? I think Velo's gone in.
Velo
yeah.
got passed by Dawid, and he dove into the pits right after getting passed. Interesting.
Okay, so Velo deciding that's the tipping point for him. Lap 4, maybe he can now get those hards on and go to the end. But Thod takes the lead. Prime is closing in on Tom. This looks like we are shaping up for a classic battle between these three.
One thing I'm noticing is that Tom and Thod have been managing their ERS really well, with Prime is the exact opposite.
Okay, so Prime's spending everything he can, right?
he's starting to just try and keep up with these guys. Well,
really interesting.
They are essentially keeping themselves ahead.
Yeah,
but it looks like Tom has fallen back a bit.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, Tom not enjoying this stage of the race.
Flag in sector 1, that's One Blood off.
And a VSC straight away. So clearly One Blood hit the wall hard enough to trigger a VSC. And you're right, out of the race goes One Blood. Pretty sure we will see some notes from him shortly. But Thod in unfamiliar territory here. Not that he's not a quality driver and able to win races, but it's unusual to see him at the head of the field so early in the race. He's a battler, someone who's had to come back from a lot of adversity in our races. And this is a different style of race management for him now, a different challenge than we've seen already at Celeritas with Thod. Tom, big time losing out from Prime here. Prime is going to get DRS and is hunting down Tom Will Tom defend to the inside? No, he's going to elect for the middle of the track. Try and hang it on, and the outside touches the wall, touches Prime as he bounces back. Yeah, but Prime gets that second place. As you say, Tom with a little bit of damage, probably not too significant. Both end plates. He hit the wall, didn't he? And then bounced back into. Yeah, he's struggling to get the car out of turn 4. Big hesitation on the way out of these corners, so this might well make up his mind for strategy. Plan B, I think it's going to be for Dawidek, because Dawidek's catching too.
Oh, safety car! Where did that come from?
I don't know, but we will probably see somebody tumbling down the field. We've lost Lightning, we've lost Snarf and One Blood. Didn't see what happened there, but potentially that might be Snarf triggering that one.
So Tom could not have had a better time to receive a safety car.
Snarf goes full for fuss in the Discord, so yeah, pretty sure Snarf had an issue. Yeah. Well, lots of drama at the start here, and yeah, I think we saw a safety car in a very similar stage of the race last night. What did the soft runners do at the head of the field? Because it's a little too early for them, but they could make a one-stop work if they put hards on now and heading for the safety car.
We're going to find out pretty soon. They are heading down the back stretch. Todd is towards the right, starting to lean towards the left. It looks like he is going to go in.
He's dummying. I'm sure he was dummying. Yeah, everybody heads in.
Do that, and you did.
Yeah, really shaped to go the other way. But our top 4 have pitted, as has David. We've got Death Dragon coming up to pit, and Quinn is going to go through. So, sorry, Lankavas will go through here. And so we'll check out the tyres. I wonder if Lankavas is... yeah, Lankavas is not ready for tyres. He's only on mediums. So he inherits the lead.
Wow!
And they're super close at the exit there. Yeah.
My goodness.
So Lankavas just gets ahead. He's screaming past the safety car. It wouldn't be the first time Lankavas has an issue with the safety car there, but he's just about managed to get the car stopped. Lankavas will be having nightmares after his Monza. Sorry, go ahead.
Tom fell back to 6th after his pit stop, which I think he is probably more than happy with.
Yeah.
As opposed to the 12th or 15th he would have been in had the safety car not happened.
So just Lankavas and Zonic, but Zonic has come up from quite low down in our grid and got himself up to 5th right now. So, but he will have to stop again, where I imagine a lot of those in the top 10 will hope not to have to pit again. Now they've just pitted. A lot of runners there. David, Pricey, Death Dragon, Bacon, Adriano. They've all put mediums on Branch. So committing themselves to a 2-stopper here.
That is a really interesting strategy call right there. I would not expect to see mediums go on at this stage of race, but maybe they're thinking that they might have some extra pace over the guys in front.
I mean, you're absolutely committing yourself to the strategy then, and losing all flexibility that you might have had. But if they're sure of their strategy...
Maybe they're thinking they can make the mediums last the rest of the race, but I really don't think that this track is going to allow for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lankavas in a pretty interesting spot as well, because he is probably still on a 2-stop. he's just kind of not with the field right now.
No, he could put hards on next time he goes to the pits. He could opt for a medium around the track a little bit there, but he will of course have a lot of grip advantage at the start here. These hard tyres are notoriously difficult to warm up after a restart or a pit exit, so I'm sure Thod, Prime and Dawidek are up to the task of warming up those tyres, but it will be advantage Lankavas on the initial few corners on the restart.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he'll be able to pull a bit of a gap at the beginning because of just the problems that hard tyres have warming up. And specifically with
Lankavas hits the wall. Lankavas just touched the wall. Yeah, weaving his tyres. Hope he didn't suffer any damage. But yeah, two tyres hit the wall on the left side.
Doesn't look like he got damaged.
No. Managed to hit the wall square on to the tyre walls there, but it definitely pays to be careful.
Maybe Ericsson hit him.
Dudsy or Adam in the YouTube mentions, yeah, it's a good point that medium runners may well be hoping for rain to come earlier, and of course the threat of rain, which I'd forgotten for a moment, is definitely going to.
I was about to bring that up.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, as Branch was saying earlier, you know, if the rain comes lap 20 plus, the drivers might decide to brave it out, but anything near to lap 18 or earlier, I think drivers are going to need to pit for intermediates in this track, and that will mess up all the strategy plans. But of course, I do think that the people who've gone onto hards now do have the most flexible options available to them.
Obviously, you do have to adjust for a range strategy, especially with the safety car. There is a lot bigger of a chance of rain now, as this is going to slow down everything. A safety car is going to come in this lap, so fairly quick safety car. Well, only one lap, I believe.
I think we went past, so I think we've had two total laps safety car. I'm going to watch from the perspective of Zonic, which should give us a view from the front, but also I want to see what he's got with those partially worn hards. That might again give him a bit of an advantage, but maybe you can follow from further down the field and see if anything else happens. The restart's about to happen. We're on the main straight, but Lankavas goes now. Lankavas leaps off with a half-second gap. Prime, though, very close to Thod. I think Prime's going to get aggressive. No, nice and tidy.
Battling in the back. Jonathan breaking it. We're huge into the wall, and it's a huge wreck. They're both off. They were battling there. They both spun, and then Quinn tried to turn in. It looked like it was almost intentional the way he turned into Bacon there. I guarantee Bacon is not going to be happy with that.
Interesting. So we see Zonic manage to get one place, and he's racing side by side with Tom, who leaves his braking very, very late.
Wow!
Hanging on the outside of the corner and got it done. It looked like the car was driving on ice at the end there, but he's still got the car turned round, and that completely messes up Zonic's few laps here.
Yeah, and Zonic also lost out to David there, the corner after that. Almost squeezed Pricey into the wall, but was able to avoid that. There is just everything going on. His Velo makes a collision with Pricey on his side pod. He's going to lose up to Death Dragon because of it.
But look at the battle at the front. The battle at the front is so tight. Lankavas from Thod, Prime and Dawadek. Everyone's managed to stay with each other here. Prime probably looking here. No,
Whoa,
don't hit each other.
Oh
So Thod managed to run into the back of Lankavas. We currently almost 2 by 2 going through the last few corners.
He took all of them.
Yeah, Tom managed to get hold of everybody. Prime went down, Dawadek went up. So yeah, right at the front we see, I can't keep up. Tom takes the lead.
Goodness, everything is
Thod
happening.
takes the lead.
It's another safety car.
Whoa!
Oh wait, what just happened?
Okay,
Jamie's
so Thod tried to make a last second dash to the pit lane when the safety car was announced, but he was blocked from the pit entry by Lankavas, I believe, who has now pitted. The safety car still hasn't come out, so these drivers will presumably go all the way around the track to catch the safety car. The safety car notification came out too late.
Just got a penalty for colliding with Tom.
Wow, that's just crazy. I can't make sense of that, and I don't think if I watch that 10 times will I be able to make any better sense of what just went on.
I've never seen anything like that. That was an all-night battle.
Incredible action in our Division 1 race. Yeah, the cars just condensed from the first lap recovery from a safety car. We didn't get a full lap. Another safety car was declared. There were cars drifting across to pits just as the safety car was announced. Thod didn't make it. In so doing, managed to relinquish the lead to Tom, then have contact and get a penalty. And he's the only penalty on the grid at the moment.
Also, Lankovas pitted for soft tires. Just, I can't understand that strategy.
No.
I just can't.
Absolutely crazy. I'm happy to eat humble pie later on, but I just can't understand why you'd go from 6 lap old hards onto softs on lap 9. But wow, okay. The cars are still at near to racing speed as they go to catch the safety car. They shouldn't obviously be overtaking, but they're at 8th gear, driving hard. I'm not quite sure where the safety car will be waiting for them. Probably on the exit of 2. Seems to be where they caught them last time. Any pitters this time round?
The safety car came out so late in the lap that they were already past the safety car by the time it came out of the pits.
I wonder, whether Thod was... Yeah, there he is on the exit of 2. I wonder if Thod was slightly hesitant because he knew that he was potentially needing to wait for the safety car. Whether that affected any of our runners, but so the early podium places have resumed in those places on hard tyres. Opted not to pit this time. Velo is right down the field. He's decided to pit from well, he's going to come out in P14 with new tyres after only running the mediums for 2 laps. I think with the sequence of events that have just taken place, I think you need to have chosen one of these safety car periods to change tyres, not both, surely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little weird to pit during both of them. Maybe he didn't like the tires that he was on.
Velo has got 4 stops to his name on lap 10, Branch. I guess there must be damage. It can't be a pure tyres.
Well, he did have damage, I believe, earlier in the race, so that was at least one of his stops. But to have 4 is it's pretty absurd.
I also see Dawidek right down there in P10 after running up in P4. So he really lost out again. His enemy, his chief rival in Celeritas, is the safety car. Dawidek, not a fan of Bernd Mailander or whoever is guesting in the safety car driving seat, because the safety car has cost Dawidek more races than any other factor.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he pit under the safety car. He pit for mediums, which is a bit of an interesting call. I would have expected, if you weren't going to pit for hards in the first safety car, you definitely would have pit for them in the second safety car.
Yes.
I'm surprised to see so many people go in for mediums.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the safety car will tour around again. So we can keep trying to make sense of the grid and the events. Now this one confuses me. Tom is running around Branch under the safety car, maxing out his rev limit on 5th gear.
Yeah, he's doing something weird with his engine now. I don't know, maybe he's just playing with it at this point.
I guess he doesn't need to worry about engine wear and things, but I mean, it can't be good for his fuel usage, right? Go ahead.
The only idea I can think is that maybe he's trying to keep as much heat into his tires as possible, and the best way to do that is to max out your engine, let your car lose traction a little bit, and let those tires just scrape along the ground.
Bacon says he's trying to burn fuel. Yeah, so does Oosterveer, so I hadn't thought of that. Potentially trying to burn fuel, over-revving the engine. I don't think he's quite into wheel spin in 5th. Yeah, so he's not eating his tyres.
You know, 2 safety cars, if there's anyone in this race who overfueled their car is extremely heavy compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
Right now, because they have been...
But wouldn't you rather burn that fuel under race trim using rich mix than burn it here?
Personally, I would, yeah, but I'm maybe the idea is that they want a lighter car. I don't know of what the difference is between running rich mix in a heavy car and running standard or lean in a light car, but
yeah, I always like to use rich as much as possible. I always overfill the car because I like running in rich. I feel like there's a significant race pace difference if you can run rich, but yeah, I'm only a commentator. I'm certainly not at the level of these Division 1 guys.
Oh. I was gonna check on the back of the grid to see if we were getting ready to race, and Quineth is backwards. So.
Okay. Yeah. Not good news. There's a lot of very aggressive weaving and tyre warming going on, which is not conducive to pointing in the right direction.
So
I don't know.
Looks like we may have another lap.
It does look like another lap, doesn't it? I'm sure it's all to do with the severity of impact with the walls.
Oh no, it's coming in.
Oh, here we go.
Really late call right there.
Oh, okay.
And
Tom slams on the brakes. It's almost an IndyCar start, side by side here. You'll be familiar with the.
What's going on?
Yeah, it's a 2x2 start, isn't it?
Side.
Someone's going to hit someone else.
I keep lagging and think, what is going on right now? This is unbelievable.
Yeah, Thod is trying to anticipate this. There goes Tom. Prime gets by Thod illegally. A severe penalty, a severe collision for Thod, who was run into the back by David. Surely he can get that taken off.
I don't know if you just noticed, it's getting pretty dark in this section of the circuit right
here comes Pricey though. Pricey up the inside to get 4th position from David, who was compromised after slamming into the back of Thod. There's a lot of side-by-side action coming into turn 2 and 3, and that's never a good sign. We really hope for some caution from our drivers coming through here, because 2 safety cars, a total of 6 laps under safety car. I don't want to commentate on any more if we can help it. Well, okay, so the drivers are managing to get through, but you're right. There are some crisp shadows on the track, but it's also some very dark sections behind the buildings. Yeah, it does look like rain is not going to be far away.
So I'm fairly certain that 5 is going to get these 10 seconds removed. 5 of them are from a collision with Tom that happened right after the second safety car, and then again during that restart when everyone was just bunched up, he got ran into the back, and I don't think he's gonna.
And it did seem to me as if Prime performed an illegal overtake as well on the restart.
Yeah, that was just a very confusing restart. Tom really held them up, and the drivers just did not want to give up their positions.
We see Lankovas coming up the inside of Tom John here, down the main straight. This camera angle, it's driving me crazy. Yeah, and so yeah, Lankovas defending and losing out to Velo, who's now in P8 after all his dramas and all of his pit stops. 4 pit stops for Velo. He's now back up to P8. Someone turns around in the background. Zonic.
It was Dawadek.
Again, another drama for Dawadek. Yeah, got the car back running again, but it's all going wrong for him. We've so far lost 5 drivers from our race. I really hope to not see any more disappear. Yellow flag into sector 1. I can't see what that's about.
Tom has started to pull a bit of a gap now, but
yeah,
there's rain coming. I mean, they
definitely.
These drivers can see this. It's any second now. It's going to start raining.
Yeah. If you read the Discord for Division 1 Crunch, you'll see a very familiar sentiment following Quineth's retirement tonight. It reminds me of somebody. I won't mention who. But
I'm not in the paddock anymore. So.
Oh right, okay. So basically, Quinn's saying I'm done. I'm pretty sure I'm done racing with this game. Let's see if he has as quick a turnaround as the last person I read saying something similar. Thod though coming up on Prime. Thod with 10 seconds of penalties that we think are not fair. Overtakes Prime with DRS not yet enabled, so did that with straight line speed against Prime. Very impressive overtake from Thod to get sufficient traction and top speed to clear Prime before DRS. I think Prime is actually going to get DRS in defence on the back straight. Let's see if he can attack. They're close, but I think not.
Oh, VSC,
another VSC.
I don't know who that's for.
Death Dragon's just dropped a place. I don't know if he's going to drop more.
Lankavas. I think Lankavas passed him right as the VSC happened, so he had to give it back. But yeah, Lankavas is trying to make the best of these soft tires. Maybe his call was that he saw the weather coming pretty soon and thought maybe I should go into soft tires, thinking that by the end of this stint there will be rain.
Yeah.
And if that's so, he could be the best car on track right now.
I mean, yeah, Lankavas has only got maybe 3 or 4 laps to 3 or 4 laps of a window for the rain to come, because past lap 7 or 8 on soft tyres, the grip just goes very, very quickly. Certainly, if it's anything like last night's race. Of course, he will have had the benefit of a couple of those laps under safety car conditions. Prime sticking with Thod, but I think Thod will have enough of a gap on the way out of here. Ooh, 5/10, maybe not.
He lost a little bit of time there through those flat-out corners. I think he might actually... Yeah, it looks like Prime's starting to catch up to him.
Look at these clouds, Branch.
My God, it's getting dark out here.
Prime is going to try and take him. I think he's done it. Under brakes. Locks up. Oh, Thod showed him the inside and has done the switchback on him. I wonder where the DRS detection zone is. Look at these two go.
They're still side by side.
Side by side. Who gets DRS? I can't get a camera angle to actually help anybody.
Prime has it.
Prime has it, but Thod's got the inside.
Does not matter.
Thod locks up and Prime decides I'm heading for that barrier if I fight any longer, and he's going to have to live with Thod again for another lap. Meanwhile, of course, this just helps our race leader Tom get away from them.
It's almost a 3-second lead now.
Yeah.
This is that battle. I have never seen people go that quick, and I think I'm starting to see rain fall.
Yeah, I think I saw something off one of the buildings, but at the moment Pricey and David are getting very close to each other. They're about to head into the castle section. Pricey defends from Dragon. He's a Ferrari sandwich if the Williams cars are the bread right now, and he's got to look at in front and behind at the same time. He'll arrive at the end of this lap cross-eyed. Here it goes. So who decides? You've got to be able to run for a couple of laps before you put inters on.
Yeah, but you also have to think about the fact that Azerbaijan is such a long lap that it's going to be a lot less time. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw someone die right now.
It depends. The forecast was for continuous and strong rain, then the sooner the better. So Tom goes past, so does Thod and Prime. They all go past, but David decides to pit. So David is the first one to gamble on.
I think he's the only one for now.
Yeah, this could be.
Bacon's also going in.
This could be genius, or it could be the opposite.
Zonic also entering the pits now.
Okay, these guys will be the ones to watch. Oh, it looks like David's serving a penalty in the pits.
Oh,
so that's going to cost him. Yeah, so we have four intermediate runners. I don't blame Bacon, Zonic and Dawidek for making this decision, because they had very little to lose, but really David gave up a huge amount of track position there.
Yeah, I really think David could have probably stayed out another lap.
So David,
this rain is heavy.
It is. We're going to start seeing cars struggling. How are the inter drivers going to be able to pick up pace at this point? Oh, Death Dragon really cautious and struggling to stop the car into the castle section.
Lankavas into the castle section, he hit the wall, so he's definitely going to have to come into pit now.
Yeah, but it's worked out well for his timing. But yeah, if he's lost the front wing, that's not going to help at all. Prime. Oh dear, Thod hits the wall, rebounds into Prime. Prime loses a part of his front wing, decides to go on through anyway. Pricey is watching this very carefully. Pricey gets third place off Thod. So depends on. Oh,
he's out.
Oh, what an impact from Pricey! If we don't see a safety car from that, there it is.
That is absolutely
wow.
Oh my goodness.
What an impact from Pricey as he spun across the track into the path of other drivers. What an impact. Apologies to anybody watching on headphones. I've just deafened people, I'm pretty sure. Wow. Drama, to say the least. Tom is miles away at the moment. He's already on his inters and heading out the pits, while Prime and Thod are going to be getting wing damage repair. In comes
this could be
everybody.
Really good for Death Dragon. As
interesting.
I believe Death Dragon is gonna exit in second place.
It was Death Dragon who hit the wall, who I was watching struggling on the way into the castle, only for 2 cars ahead of him to smash into, absolutely smash into the wall. I don't think Pricey was pushed. From what I saw on track, maybe he'll tell us differently, but wow. It would be interesting to hear from him if we can try and add him to the party during this safety car period, if he's willing.
See if I can get him.
Yeah. I mean, actually, Dawodek has only just overtaken Pricey on track. That's the amount of drama Dawodek has suffered. It used to be he's one of our editors, and he's just said that should make for a good trailer. That section. I think we're trying to show good racing, but certainly I guess excitement is the other category. Wow. Yeah, that was something else.
That was unbelievable. There has been so much drama and action at the front of the race. This is exactly what you want to see out of a Division 1 race.
Absolutely. We're losing drivers though nearly every couple of laps. That was something else. The rain is falling. The drivers are probably going to be struggling to get these inters up to speed. Pricey, it looks like, has joined us. So bravo first of all for joining us after such a dramatic exit. Pricey, what on earth happened there?
I saw that. I was watching the Chelsea game at the same time, unfortunately. And I saw that Mount got injured, so I stopped concentrating and I clipped the wall. And by that point, I was like, this is over.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's one of the most unusual exits. I think maybe second in Celeritas history for unusual exits. Lankovas hitting the safety car was probably the first for me, but watching a Chelsea player get injured while driving through one of the fastest sections of Baku. Yeah, not ideal.
I quickly glanced at it, and it was right after Prime and Thod collected each other.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I'm clear here, and then I looked up again really quickly, and I was like,
You seem to take something of a tumble, something of a wall riding journey through that section afterwards as well.
Yeah. At that point, I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, it's happened again.
Well, I hope you got it on I hope you saved the replay for us, because that looked highly dramatic. We didn't think you were pushed into it. It didn't look like there was contact.
I'm not too sure. It felt like the rear just went, so I'm not too sure.
Sure.
But it'll be interesting to have a look at.
You were on for a great result, though. It's so competitive at the top of this race order.
Yeah, there's a lot of argy-bargy going on at the moment. It's all throughout the pack.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I think Tom will probably do the same as what he did last time.
Yeah, it did look like that was only going to result in contact. I think waiting to restart so late. But in fairness to Tom on that first one, the safety car really had its lights turned off very, very late. It was very short notice.
I think it was because of Quinn, maybe, or Lankovas, whoever the last one on the back was.
Yeah.
They just caught up at the worst timing.
Absolutely. So Yeah, well, I guess you'll be wanting to sink a pint or two and enjoy the rest of the Chelsea match. Am I right?
Unfortunately, I haven't got any beer. That's tomorrow when I go shopping. So.
And it's far too much hassle to go and get yourself registered at a pub at this time of night.
Yeah, I've just seen Bacon. My teammate has actually got wing damage.
Yeah, not the best night for Ferrari then, and yeah, Branch is going to be very disappointed as a fellow Ferrari driver.
It's insane.
Yeah, definitely not a weekend to write home about for the Ferrari team. Any questions from you, Branch?
I mean, do you have a concussion? Like that was an almighty impact in that wall. That was
head injury assessment pending for Pricey.
I think it was like a Russell Bottas incident. I think it was. I think I'm going to put the blame. I can't put the blame on anyone. I think I lost a bit of my front wing as well, and I can't remember where. I think it was in the car source section.
Yeah. Same lap.
Same lap. Yeah. Same lap. As soon as I got wing damage, that was it.
Interesting.
Honestly, just blame Jamie, and you're probably good.
Well, I'm really quite interested to see what the start was, because I was P5 and I looked behind me after turn 1 and Jamie was in P7.
Yeah, he is known. He is known as a fast starter. He really is.
Did he jump the start or
no penalties on, as far as that's concerned.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, he's.
I'm gonna have to watch that back.
Yeah, he's definitely good at those restarts and grid starts. So, well, thank you very much for joining us, Pricey, and great to hear from you. Yeah, hopefully you can maybe turn off the football next time.
Yeah, if it was any other team, I would have, man. But come on, those Blues. It's alright.
Yeah.
Thanks, anyways, for having me, guys.
No, always good to talk to you. Thanks a lot. Hopefully, Branch, the safety car will be heading in this lap. Cars crawl through the castle section.
Now, so.
Okay, but yeah, the standing water is pretty extreme. The visibility is pretty poor. I hope Tom goes a little bit earlier, or he has the opportunity to go a bit earlier, because another problem like that, I want to see the field spread a little bit further before they head into the tricky section of this lap.
Yeah, hopefully the safety car doesn't decide to play a trick on him like it did last time.
Still, the lights are still on that safety car. Apologies to people. There they go. Okay, so Tom now has the opportunity to slow the field down well ahead of where he had the opportunity before, but of course he can't accelerate until the safety car is almost in the pits. So he's got an opportunity as the cars come up towards that switchback fast chicane. Tom from Death Dragon and Prime are your race order at the moment. Then Tom John, Thod, who will be looking to try and recover that podium and that race win. Lankavas, Zonic, Bacon and Velo are your top 9. We have 12 runners remaining and Dawadex at the foot of the field. Tom's crawling around. I'll join from Prime. It's 3 wide at the moment. There we go. We launch now and the cars are very close to each other. Prime is right underneath the gearbox of Death Dragon. Pulls out. Is he going to get this one stopped? It's a voyage into the unknown in this first corner. Prime got the brakes done. Death Dragon goes down. I don't know if that's going to leave him compromised on the exit, as Thod comes up the inside of Tom John and takes that 4th place. So great start from Thod, restart from Thod, good restart from Prime. Death Dragon heading backwards now, just into turn 3. Some action on track. Keep getting this camera angle that tells me absolutely nothing. We have a yellow flag.
Backwards.
Okay, so Adriano stuck with some contact at the front, possibly contact with his teammate Dawadek or Bacon, looking at the proximity of those cars on the track order. But Tom gets a 1-second lead from Prime, who has 2.5 seconds to Death Dragon, but it's Thod who's making the best out of this early low grip portion of the restart. Cold tyres, standing water. First time these cars have had the opportunity to drive Baku tonight in the wet on these tyres. Looks like Lankavas looking very racy on Tom John as well.
And Dodd is really wanting to get past Death Dragon here.
Awesome contact with the wall from Tom John on the way out. Lankavas is going to get the job done, I think, before the DRS section. Looks like he'll get that, but he might give up DRS getting past him at that point. Whoa, Thod absolutely sideways. I don't know if he made contact with the wall. The camera jutted, but he was just out of sight. Anyway, here he comes, the inside of Death Dragon. Death Dragon gives him the inside. I don't think there's any point fighting this. He hasn't quite got the move done. Oh, he holds on the outside from Dragon. So Thod will get the next DRS.
I think he's going to get him on the straight. Right here.
Ooh, getting out of that corner is difficult though. And Death Dragon gets away from him. Prime catching Tom right at the front as well. So
yeah, this should be a great battle for the lead here.
I can't believe it's lap 21. We've had lap after lap of safety car time, but the race still seems to have gone by pretty quickly. Lap 21 of 26, and it's Tom from Prime, Death Dragon and Thod. Prime, all four wheels locked up at that point. That's not the efficient way to get the car stopped. Timid, gentle through the castle section. Yeah.
These cars are essentially skating right now.
Yeah.
I guarantee almost all of these guys have dry setups on. So trying to push with a dry setup in these kind of conditions.
The chance of aquaplaning is incredibly strong. Prime is learning to manage these four-wheel slides on the way into these corners, but he's not as quick as Tom. Tom's setup is working much better for him, or his brake management, maybe his balance or his feel on the pedal is better.
The Thought is really starting to struggle right now. He still has not been able to get past Death Dragon, and the fact that there's no DRS right now because the rain is not helping him at all.
Absolutely. We saw him pull right up alongside Death Dragon but couldn't get by. So it does seem that Death Dragon has less downforce on the car than Thod. Visibility is a problem through the corners. Yeah, he's losing maybe 2/10 on the straight, which is your primary opportunity to pass another car from Thod. So no DRS. Velo's up to 6th with, I think, at my last count, 4 pit stops. Let's check that out.
5 now.
He's at 5 now. So 5-stopping Velo gets up to 6th place at this point in the race, and he's pretty close behind Lankavas. Dawadek making progress as well. Yeah.
Ferrari strategy still making it work somehow. I don't know how that's happened.
Dawadek was our last car under the safety car, and it was his tardiness to actually catch. No. Yeah, that's not going to work. No. You can go around the outside, but Tom John had to give him a little bit of space there. He couldn't close Dawadek out on the outside of the turn with only a wall on the outside. Dawadek is making the best progress under these wet conditions, but losing a bit of wing with a dry setup isn't going to help matters.
Absolutely not.
Entertainment is not a sufficient enough word to describe the Division 1 race tonight on Celeritas. My word, what a race so far we've had.
I want to go back and watch that first safety car restart, because that was just one of the craziest restarts I think I've ever seen.
Anyone wanting...
Oh, Dawadek's out of the race!
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh no!
There he is, pointing in the wall.
Dreadful day.
Yeah, it was starting to look better, and now it's suddenly got worse again. Presume that wasn't too hard an impact.
I'm hoping not. Too hard. That's a slow speed corner. I think he probably just broke a little bit too late. Thought has just gotten a penalty.
thought Velo here is breaking.
Out the race as well.
No.
Todd just put himself in the wall. Going into turn 1, he lost it and just didn't have the traction to keep it, and then put himself in the wall, and now he's out of the race completely.
Wow, okay, so Thod drops down the order. That's really going to affect his battle for the championship. That's a really big issue for our championship at the moment. Prime, there's another yellow flag we've got in Sector 3. Branch, I don't see who that is, but I'm
Triano, I believe.
Okay, I'm looking at Velo, who's our closest battler right now, but Prime is looking in a great position in the championship with his chief rival having dropped out. Really interesting. I wonder what happened to Thod. What did he lose it all on his own?
It looks. I caught him
Whoa!
Right at the end.
Okay,
I've just into the section.
Velo's just managed to overtake someone in the castle section because Lankavas got it all wrong. Yeah, Lankavas got it all wrong.
That is the first time I've ever seen an overtake there.
He called it. I remember him calling it in the Discord earlier this afternoon. He said, "I will overtake someone in the castle section tonight." So 5 stops. He's currently 4th. This is quite the race. This brings back to mind Ayrton Senna in Donington in 1993. That kind of a race where Ayrton seemed to be in the pits every 5 laps and still managed to win the race. So
yeah, he may not get driver of the day, but he's definitely my driver of the day.
Well, yeah.
Just a bizarre race for him.
For everybody so far, I think. Yeah. Just a top tip for anybody watching the stream, if you don't want to wait for the stream to process and reload again, make sure you pause it before the end and you can rewind it live before it starts its processing. Because I'm pretty sure, as you say, Brunch, people are going to be heading straight back to watch what happened. Dawidek disagrees with our assessment of the race so far, but perhaps not very surprisingly. We have massive gaps in on track at the moment. Yeah. 5, 4, 5, 5, 9, 4, 22, 2 and 35 second gaps.
We've eked just about as much of the entertainment as we possibly could out of this race. I think this track has said no more. I can't handle it.
It's a limp to the finish at Celeritas Division 1, I think. A race of attrition yet again for the 3rd week on the trot. We have only points playing positions for the finishers. The gaps to the leader. It looks like Tom is coming up to lap Zonic in 10th place tonight, and we've had 3 safety car periods. This is incredible.
Unbelievable race this is. I've never seen anything like this. Although I am noticing right now, Tom just lost about 2 seconds to Prime in that last lap.
Interesting.
I don't know. Oh, Tom has damage!
Yeah, I thought I saw something missing on that front wing.
Oh, that is going to create...
Must have hit the wall.
This is gonna be something special here at the end. I think Prime is gonna catch him.
We've got 2 complete laps to run with Celeritas. Horrible graphics moment when as Tom appears to be levitating on top of the rain there. So apologies if anybody else caught that, but Tom can't get this car around these corners. This must mean advantage Prime. This race has got more drama for us at the tail end of the race. It's lap 25 of 26 and Prime is catching Tom hand over fist as Tom tries to learn how to get this car around these corners. It means relearning the circuit almost.
Absolutely. This is going to be incredible to see if Tom is able to defend here. I don't know if he's going to have a problem on the straights necessarily.
Right.
The downforce really doesn't affect him that
I think
much
Tom
there,
is down to 2 horizontal, but I think Tom's down to 2 horizontal sections on the right side of his front wing. So yeah, that's not good. Hits the wall in the castle. Ghosting, and that helps Prime get past him. He's ghosting, he's not ghosting. Are they going to have contact? Okay, Prime gets the first place. What do you do if you're in Tom's seat now? Do you go in the pits and definitely give up 3, 4, 5 places? or do you try and limp it on?
Stay out here.
He's hit the wall big
Although
time.
He's lost the entire front wing. It is completely
Look
gone.
at him! He's riding with the front wing wrapped into his halo as it tumbles down towards the barriers. Death Dragon's gonna get this. That's something else. I've never seen somebody manage to run piggybacking their own front wing across their cockpit in quite such a fashion as that. Tom can't get this car in a straight line, let alone round any of the corners. He's got no front wing. He's going to struggle to get the car stopped for the pit lane. He must come in.
He's not going to go to the pit lane.
He's not going to come in. He's going to run another lap with nothing. Tom, straight on.
No chance.
Drifts the car round on the exit of turn 1, loses P3 as Velo gets to the podium with those 5 stops. No penalties to pay tonight. That's another record we're going to see. I don't think we've ever seen a more dramatic race. And while there are complaints that we've had Division 2 and Division 3 drivers in this race causing issues, last week and the week before we didn't have the same excuses. It just seems like the intensity of Division 1 is such that the drivers are pushing incredibly hard and we're just not seeing enough finishes.
Yeah, and Tom just got a penalty for cutting corners as if he needed it.
Yeah,
I'm actually pretty surprised. He's the only one right now with penalties.
The rain coming in at a 45-degree angle, it looks like, from the helicopter's perspective. Prime is wrapping out this lap. It took a long time for Prime time to be engaged tonight, but it does look like Prime has found a way to win. I'm not quite sure if it's all by his own skill, but tonight belongs to Prime again.
And Tom is out of the race completely! He couldn't get it around! On the last lap, he takes himself out of the race.
0 goes Tom. He has dominated 95% of this race, but in the 5% that matters, that's it for Tom. He's out. He could not get that car round. We didn't think he'd be able to, but Prime takes the win in Azerbaijan. He said it was a strong track for him as Death Dragon comes in second. Unbelievably, Velo gets third place with 5 pit stops tonight. I just can't understand that one at all, but it all came good for Velo in the end. We see Lankovas in fourth. Really good drive from him.
We talked about his strategy.
Yeah.
And we messed with his strategy. He finished the 4th.
He did it. He made the strategy work by hook or by crook. Tom John, another debut driver for us tonight, will come round and I'm sure be happy with a 5th placed after that drive. I think anybody finishing this race should be happy. David in the second Williams gets 6th place. Bacon, Division 2 second place driver in the standings at the moment, having driven last night. A poor qualifying for him today, but we'll get round these corners. I don't want to speak too soon, but we'll get round these corners. He's only got the straight to go now, and he gets P7 for Ferrari. So it's not all doom and gloom for Ferrari as Adriano comes round in the AlphaTauri. It's single car per team finishes apart from Williams tonight, and just to make a mockery of everything that is real life Formula One, the last finishing driver will be a Mercedes. Zonic comes to cross the line, and he is celebrating already. He knows we're watching him, so he's going to try and do everything he can to finish the race. That's a dramatic finish. He gets classified 9th. Yeah, he's got 1 corner missing off the car. Adriano, actually, bit of a surprise, gets driver of the day. But yeah, really, for both of us, I think we are in agreement that Velo was the man tonight.
Absolutely, and there's Prime with his usual unfortunate dance moves on the podium.
Terrible dance, awesome driver. Prime lifts the trophy for Haas once again. I think that's 6 wins for him now. But that does not tell the story of tonight's race. I'm not sure we could tell the story of tonight's race in an essay. But yeah, these guys made it to the end. That's all I can probably say at this point.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
The grid, as it stands now, we have Prime winning the race, Death Dragon finishing second, started 13th. Great race. And then Velo started 7th, finishing 3rd. Lankovas 4th, Tom John in 5th, David in 6th, Bacon in 7th, Adriano in 8th, and Zonic, the last finisher, in 9th. Following him, we have Tom, who finished 10th. I don't know if he'll get a point for that or not. I'm not sure how that works. And then after the top 10, it is Thawed, Dowdek, Pricey, Senna, Quineth, Jamie, Snarf, One Blood, and Lightning.
Yeah, and many of those drivers didn't see much of tonight's race from the cockpit, but I think we're tuning in at the end on the stream. Let us know what you think of the race in the stream. Give us a thumbs up. Share the video if you're willing to place a headphone user caveat on any sharing you do, because my apologies if I hurt anybody's ears. That was quite something tonight. Hopefully we can check in with a driver or two at the end here. Prime is usually pretty good, good value. He's already yelling about prime time, all caps in the Discord. He's saying race of the season. I don't think he's going to get many agreements with his fellow drivers tonight for that claim, but good grief. So, yeah, Prime, Death Dragon, and we had Velo making out our top 3, who had all incredibly different stories to tell at the end of that race. Quite something.
That was unbelievable. I've never seen a race like that.
Yeah.
Just action, front to end. Not only that, but action at the front. 4-car pileups on a safety car restart. Rain, the leader, damaging his car, falling back, and then putting himself out of the race on the last lap. Like, just everything that could have possibly happened in this race did happen.
And it may well have been a commentator curse, because I was saying with 3 laps to run that the gaps were really large and we were probably able to take a breather.
Yeah, we should probably be careful with our words. We do tend to mess things up a lot.
Well, it makes for good entertainment, I'm hoping anyway. I hope everyone's enjoyed that race. If you've got questions for Prime, for any of our finishes, let us know in the chat. Like I say, tell your friends.
I have invited Prime and Dowdek are invited, I believe, and Thawed as well.
Okay, sweet.
Oh, there's Prime.
Here comes Prime. I was saying, Prime, hopefully you're about to join us, but I was saying it took a long time for Prime Time to be engaged tonight, but when it came at exactly the right moment.
Prime Time activated. Grazie ragazzi. Forza Haas. Yes. Come on. That was a race of the season there.
That was something else. That must have been a lot. You must have been sweating that race.
I was sweating when the rain came. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like it was a real battle with the likes of Thod and Tom and Pricey all through. What were some of your highlights?
Well, my highlights, the whole story of the race was the full battle between, like, couple laps between which the guys were Tom, Thod, and Davidek for a couple of laps.
Yeah.
Then the safety car drama came up. We have record-breaking 3 safety cars today. That was very incredible. And the Lankova situation just before the rain came in, and the last safety car, I don't remember. It was the last safety car, second safety car, when the Lankovas was leading.
Yes.
And then there was a damage between me and I think you were in the commentary box very shocked that I got wing damage for the first time in the season.
You are usually very good at staying out of trouble, but it's Baku, and I don't know what else anybody expects. If someone's got through Baku with green wings, I think they've done a very, very good race. Probably going too slow.
It was crazy just with 2 safety cars, and just the Pricey crash on the last chicane before the back straight was hilarious. I was laughing like hell with my teammate because Pricey is he's a meme of this league. He's the face of the memes in the league, and I know his fan base knows that he's GOAT crashing. So.
He told us actually that the reason that crash happened was because he was watching Chelsea play and he looked up at his TV to see a player get injured, and he looked down and his car was in the wall.
Oh no! Two dramas at the same time: Chelsea and now this one.
That was a breathless race for us, despite the safety cars. I don't know if you managed to catch, but Velo made a 5-stop strategy work to get to get on the podium at the end. Had you considered a 5-stop strategy tonight, Prime?
No way. I was sticking with the 2 to 3 stop strategy, just focusing on the rain, and I was very surprised on the lap 25 that how in the heck Tom's pace started to get worse.
Yeah.
So then I activated the prime time. Well, it wasn't like the prime time that I was pushing like hell because I knew that he had the wing damage. So I did the move and got the win to the back. After all of these dramas, I was joking with my teammate Adriano on the party after all of these safety cars, how I am still on the top 3. This is crazy. I have a guardian angel with me.
It does seem to be your year, your season here in Division 1. I don't think anybody's going to touch you for the championship. Pretty soon you're going to have to start setting some new challenges for yourself, I think. Just to say, Branch, Death Dragon is about to go off on his sulk if we don't invite him for a chat. So we'll get him. Okay, we'll try and get him if we can. But Prime, what was the car like under the wet conditions after that last safety car?
I enjoyed driving on the wet weather in every street circuit, and as well the wet weather is much better for me to handle the car than in the dry because then I know that I need to be much careful. You didn't on the stream. I checked. You didn't saw my wrong wing damage that I crashed to the wall in the same corner where Pricey crashed.
Okay.
On the wet weather.
At the same time.
So I had a yellow wing. Same time.
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't, but like it was on the wet when I was on inters and I was catching Tom.
Yeah.
It was like about 4 laps before the finish. I crashed to the wall and then decided to take a little breath and waiting for something to happen. But yeah,
astonishing race. Absolutely astonishing. Yeah. I think we can rewatch some of those sections 10 times and we still won't really know what happened. That really was something else, that race. But congratulations on the win. You did it again. You found a way to win, and that's what champions do.
Thank you. It was good to be here once again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we look forward to the next race. What are you feeling about the challenge of the next race on the calendar?
Hungary is also the track where you have to be very careful, like in the Baku, because there is lots of curbs and everything that will ruin your race very easily. And as I noticed, we have only 5 races to go of this season. I mean 6 races, so it's getting very critical for me to focus on the championship hunt.
Definitely. Well, good luck, and thank you very much for the drive and for the chat at the end. Great to talk to you again, Prime.
Yeah, thank you, and keep working your great commentary, Branch and Webb.
Excellent. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Bye.
Bye now. Death Dragon, an amazing drive, a dramatic race, but congratulations on your podium.
How did I get the podium?
Don't come in asking me
what
questions
happened.
like that. I ask the questions round here. That was, yeah, I know. I can't tell anything, but it was drama all the way through the race, and Tom's antics on the last 2 laps were probably why yourself and Velo managed to get up to the end. But you stayed out of trouble all race, right?
Yeah, I don't know how I didn't. I didn't have the pace at all. Before the race when I did practice.
Yeah.
It was going so bad, so I thought, yeah, all right, this is going nowhere. I'll just try and that's it. No, well, qualifying, I had an incident, and that cost me a 5 grid place penalty. So I was a bit annoyed with that, but still thought, you know what, I'll just give it what I got, even though if it's not much. And then all of a sudden, with all the patience and just being careful and not going for immediate moves, I am second.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It seems like the best. It seems like the best strategy in this race was to do nothing and wait for everyone else to make their mistakes.
It was pretty
That's
much the ideal thing, because I saw drivers passing each other in front of me. I thought, all right, I'll just sit and wait here and see someone pass the driver. And the other driver goes off. All right, thank you very much.
How did the strategy work out for you? I know everything seemed to work out at the end, but were you second guessing your strategy decisions, or were you pretty happy with the way things went?
It actually helped me out, I think, because I knew it was going to rain, so I thought, you know what, I'll do a medium soft. I accidentally did soft medium, but that doesn't matter. So I thought I'll give that a try instead of going for the hard and see where we'll go. And then the safety car actually helped me, so that I didn't need to go in the pits.
Yeah.
I did only for the mediums, and then for the intakes. So it did really help me. And then for the intakes, it was just trying to keep it out of the walls, pretty much.
And what was the car like? I think you had you spoke about a difficult qualifying session, but the race was a completely different animal, and especially when the rain started to fall, it must have felt like learning the track all over again.
Yes, and then also having the problem that the front tires didn't warm up. So when the safety car was away, of course, Prime immediately passes me. I couldn't turn, I couldn't brake, I couldn't turn. The car didn't work at all. But then when it started to heat up at some point, then I got the pace back.
Yeah, we were watching with Prime in the wet conditions, and sometimes he was 4 wheels locked going into corners in the wet conditions. Was it similar situation for you?
Yes, I thought, you know what, I'll brake earlier and still almost go in a wall. So yeah, I had the same problem. The grip was horrendous.
So drama at the end. Do you fancy a late season push for a better championship position?
I'll give it everything I got.
Excellent.
I'll always do.
That's what we like to hear. And are you someone who hates Hungary?
No, that's actually one of my favorite tracks.
Oh, good. There was no love for Hungary last night when we spoke to drivers.
No one.
No.
What?
Yeah, it's definitely a love it or hate it kind of track. But I'm glad to hear that you'll be going in with some confidence. Have you got much time to practice this week?
No.
Okay.
Just simply no.
Okay. Well, we look forward to seeing how you get on, practice or not. But congratulations, Dragon, and fantastic race for you. I'm sure that'll go down in the memory banks. You won't forget that one quickly.
No, thank you very much, mate.
Good job. Good job, man.
Dragon, thank you. All right, I believe we also have Dodd here. Is Dodd still here?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Dodd. How are you?
I will say good.
Good.
I'm pretty furious with this race, but okay.
Yeah. You were driving so well tonight. It looked like you had the pace to win.
Yeah, I know, but Tom gave me wing damage in the safety car, and after lap 10 I was driving with a light green front wing, but it was pretty difficult to go until the end.
It looked like you got a penalty for someone ramming you from behind on the restart.
Yeah, 10 seconds penalty. Both of them in the safety car because someone hit me. The first one I took from Tom because he turned into me in the safety car. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then at the restarting of the safety car, we were everyone side by side, so I took another one. I made it 10. And that's it. Again, bad luck, and the race was destroyed. Even if I had the pace to win.
Go ahead.
I don't have anything to say. I'm pretty furious.
Yeah, I imagine so. You're remaining very controlled at the moment, and credit to you for that.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're not. I'm glad you're not swearing, but you must have a lot of issues with other drivers to mention. So you're doing very well. Where did it all go wrong in the end for you?
Nothing. I just went ahead. I went straight in the wall.
Okay.
On purpose.
Oh right. Okay.
I didn't want to race anymore. It was a destroyed race. So,
well, be careful admitting things like that because we are supposed to retire in the pits.
I couldn't handle myself, so yeah. I couldn't wait one more lap to bring the car in the pit lane. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When you've had enough, you've had enough. I understand.
I will send you an onboard to see what I do.
We'll love that. We'd love to see that. Did you? Were you involved with Price's massive issue at where he took himself out watching a Chelsea match?
Oh no! I saw Pricey in the last 2 turns.
Yeah.
Just break everything, and I was like, how did he lost in these turns? It was, I don't know how, but yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we know how. It's because he was watching a football match out the corner of his eye, and something happened to a Chelsea player he wasn't happy about. So, definitely a top tip for all drivers. Maybe just watch one screen at a time.
Yeah. Concentrate more on the race.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, a dramatic race. I would highly recommend you go back and watch it from our perspective because it was entertainment start to finish. We'll look forward to seeing your onboards. How are you feeling about the challenge of Hungary to come? Are you feeling positive?
No, I will take a break from this league because I can't race with this luck. Like, I mean, in every race, someone hit me in the first laps, and then I have to recover and take all the places back. So I don't want to race anymore like this.
Oh well, I really hope you go and get a drink. You reflect on that decision because we absolutely love watching you racing, and I was gutted to see you lose the rest tonight. Hopefully you can commiserate, get some commiserations, and rejoin us next week because when you were at the front of the race tonight, I was convinced you were nailed on for the win.
Yeah, I will think again. We will see.
Okay. Well, it was good to talk to you, and it's very very good sport of you to come and talk to us and maintain the level of self-control you have been able to tonight. Congratulations on that, at least, and you had some terrific speed, so it was a pleasure watching your race tonight. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
Night.
Good night. I think, is anybody else desperate, Branch? We haven't been able to get your quick summary of that race. Your opinion on.
Well, I don't think there's any sort of summary that can be quick when you're talking about that race. That was just everything that could have possibly gone wrong for every driver went wrong.
Right.
Rain, 3 safety cars. I've never seen 3 safety cars in a race before. Not only that, but it just the stuff happening during the safety car. There was, I mean, that first safety car restart was one of the most intense battles I've ever watched on a Formula One race.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, going 4 wide into a turn where you really can't even go 2 wide into it. Just unbelievable racing. It was fantastic to commentate. Yeah, and I'm excited for next week. We get to go to Hungary, or as I like to call it, full, because I'm always full of it whenever I'm there. I hate that track. So
yeah. It was definitely. It didn't get any love
like
among Division 2 last night, but a couple of drivers tonight looking forward to it. So it may be that it's an equally bad track for everybody next week in Division 2.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Let's hope you can set maybe 2 alarms next week.
Oh, I had 10 alarms set. I set through all of them, man. That is not the problem.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what to recommend, but maybe go to bed a little earlier if possible. But yeah, hopefully we'll see you racing next week. Hopefully we'll be able to co-commentate with me next week as well. But it was a very dramatic night. Go back and watch it. Save your. You get the pleasure of editing that one. So.
Yep.
That's going to be interesting. But look out for all the videos to come on Celeritas. We have highlights coming up tomorrow from Division 1. I've uploaded those from Oosterveer. We'll try and get you highlights from the other races to come soon. We've got Formula C on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. UK, and same time Friday and Saturday night next week for the next part of our divisional races. There is also still, I believe, 1 or 2 spaces left in Division 3. So if you fancy joining us, if you fancy this kind of melee kind of racing that we've had tonight, or hopefully, I mean, I'll say that, and tomorrow night on Division 3 it'll be a procession. But yes, there's still spaces available in Division 3 to join at the tail end of the season while we prepare for our Season 2. We're also having various exhibition races, and there's a really thriving practice lobby almost daily looking on Discord for different race challenges that are happening between everyone here at Celeritas.
I didn't get to join, but they had some pretty fun stuff going on yesterday. So if you're interested in some hide and seek or wrong tire races, we do those a little bit. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, head on over.
Yeah, there should be a link in the YouTube channel to join the Discord. If not, comment on one of the videos and we'll provide you with what you need. But I think it's time to go and have a lie down, Branch, because that was ice drink on the forehead. That was crazy times. But a pleasure as always. Thank you for spending your evening with us on the stream, and we will catch you all on the next race day.
All right.